Good morning from beautiful sunny Alberta. Just out for a walk, and I got to thinking, when do I get my rights back? You know, I chose to not get vaccinated for my own reasons and situation, my age and health and a bunch of different factors. But I'm not allowed on a plane, a train, or a ship. I'm a prisoner in my own country, and I can't even travel within my country quickly. I can drive, sure, but if something bad happened to one of my family members on the other side of Canada, I couldn't get there in time. I couldn't help them. It's like a 3-4 day drive without sleeping. Now I'm looking around, and I'm the kind of guy that checks provincial data a few times a week. And the provinces that haven't changed their data or still put it up for the public to see, it's clear to see that the vast majority of new and active COVID cases are vaccinated people. The vast majority of people in the hospital who tested positive for COVID are vaccinated people. The vast majority of people in the ICU, even though the numbers may be low, which is a good thing, are vaccinated people. This is not a secret anymore. We went from a pandemic of the unvaccinated to it's inevitable that you're going to get COVID. Pretty quick. And I do see lots of people who say, well, they're the vast majority of the population, so of course this is going to happen, right? This isn't what we were told. Initially, we were told vaccines were the path to freedom, and that you were protected from COVID. And then the science changed, and they said that you were less likely to get COVID. Then later on, they said you were less likely to have hospitalizations or severe outcomes. And unfortunately, this is not the truth. And as the goalposts have been moved, the information and the protection from these vaccines has also moved and changed. And yet I am still a prisoner within my own country. Things like natural immunity and other factors are not considered. You know, I'm seeing, vaccinated people are free to come and go and enter our country, and I'm sure they're getting tested or whatever, but it's my understanding that the vast majority of what's going on with COVID right now, and fourth shots and 6 waves and that, the majority of the people involved are vaccinated people. They're coming in all day, every day. I also heard that Canada is helping refugees from the Ukraine, which I have no problem with Canada helping people if they're the right people and really need help. But from what I'm hearing, these people are unvaccinated, a lot of them. So we have people coming and going who we know are the major problem at this moment. We have unvaccinated people coming in, and yet I'm restricted. My rights have been taken. And were they ever really rights if they can be taken away? You know, I lived here my whole life. I've paid taxes, contributed to my community. I don't break the law. I mostly do what I'm supposed to and be a positive contributor. I go to work every day, and I don't have the right to leave Canada. What, do I have to walk across the border like a refugee and beg for asylum somewhere? Should I go cross in Quebec? Maybe get a friggin' free hotel room and a big check or something? Yeah, I don't get it. I was actually just reading a story too. There was, it was about a food safety recall. I believe it was 2 food companies, distributors out of, I believe, Saskatchewan. And they had sent food to 1 store in BC. And some of that food was contaminated with salmonella. So they did a Canada-wide food safety recall of all their products everywhere to protect people because of food that was found at 1 store. Now, with all the data that we know and a lot of what we don't know, We know there's some bad stuff going on with the reactions to these vaccines. And we have no idea what the true scope of this is going to be. Nobody has an idea in 5 years, 3 years. They don't even really know what's going on right now. And what's coming down the pipe for a lot of people is pretty scary. Now, knowing all this, have you heard of a recall? Any recall to keep people safe? They'll pull food from across the country because of one store or a handful of people. Or there's 5 bad heads of lettuce and they pull all that. Or they don't let imports into the country, or whatever the case may be. Are we seeing any recalls to protect all these little kids who aren't even in danger to COVID? No, we're not. So we have a major, major problem. And I'm just wondering, on this beautiful, beautiful day, when do I get my rights back? You folks have a good weekend.